In economics, we often talk about the benefits consumers get from buying goods and services. This benefit, in simple terms, is what we call consumer surplus. It represents the difference between what a consumer is willing to pay for a product and the actual price they end up paying. Imagine you need a new phone. You're willing to pay $500 for a good one. You walk into a store and to your surprise, the phone is on sale for $300. That difference, the $200 saved, is your consumer surplus. It's like finding extra money in your pocket. This concept helps us understand how satisfied consumers are with their purchases. A large consumer surplus suggests that buyers are getting good deals, while a small one might mean they're not finding products as valuable. Understanding consumer surplus is important because it helps economists analyze market dynamics and the overall well-being of consumers. The higher the consumer surplus, the better off consumers are in a particular market. The demand curve, a staple in economics, is a graphical representation of how much of a good or service consumers are willing to buy at different prices. This curve also visually represents the concept of consumer surplus. The area under the demand curve and above the actual market price represents the total consumer surplus in the market. This area captures the cumulative benefit consumers receive from buying the product at a price lower than their maximum willingness to pay. Think of it like this. Each point on the demand curve represents a consumer willing to pay a specific price. As we move down the curve, the price decreases and the quantity demanded increases, leading to a larger area representing consumer surplus. This graphical representation helps us visualize how changes in price can affect the overall well-being of consumers in a market. Lower prices are generally a good thing for consumers, and the concept of consumer surplus helps explain why. When prices drop, consumer surplus tends to increase. This happens in two ways. First, existing buyers who were already purchasing the product at a higher price benefit from the price reduction. They now pay less for the same product, increasing their individual consumer surplus. Second, lower prices can attract new buyers who were previously unwilling or unable to purchase the product at the higher price point. These new buyers now contribute to the overall consumer surplus in the market. This dynamic relationship between price and consumer surplus highlights the importance of competitive markets. When businesses compete, they often lower prices to attract customers, leading to increased consumer surplus and greater overall economic welfare. Economists use consumer surplus as a key indicator of economic well-being. It provides a measure of the benefits consumers receive from participating in a market. While not a perfect measure, a higher consumer surplus generally suggests a higher level of consumer satisfaction and overall economic welfare. When policies are being considered, their potential impact on consumer surplus is often a major consideration. Policies that promote competition, reduce barriers to entry in markets, or lead to lower prices for consumers are generally seen as beneficial from a consumer surplus perspective. However, it's essential to remember that consumer surplus is just one piece of the puzzle. Other factors such as income inequality, environmental impact, and access to essential goods and services are also crucial in assessing overall economic well-being.